Well, ain't that an intro, alright. Boy, hate that. It's like that Porygon episode. Um, this is the Libero from the other day. I never opened it. We're just gonna save it for tomorrow and open it with these two. Um, I don't know if this is a Libero or not. I've honestly forgotten. I think it's a Libero. We'll save that too. That's that huge egg we found. I came out here to do like a rig run maybe, and also said I did some research. Okay, I've been in the lab. Um, we're gonna have to expand our operation for libero like farming. It takes too long. The ammo is too expensive. We gotta make sure we maximize our odds of just killing her quick. So I thought to myself, boy, I sure don't want to use a guy that already exists because I've already looked at them all. I just don't really want to do them. I want something that hatches faster than a day and a half or half a day and a half. Never mind. Point is, less than 12 hours, and I came to the conclusion Sootseer. Sootseer is the answer to this. Basically, I did a lot of research on the Fire Dark petals, and you know what? I'm gonna put an image up on the screen. Hang on, we're gonna stand over here at Sparket's grave. Well, I'll teach you my research here. I'll put it up on the screen while I read from the document I wrote. Let me get a good cinematic angle going. This will do. Where's my notes? Here they are. Okay. So we've got here's our fire darks. We've got Incineram, Pyron Noct, Vanworm, Bushy Noct, Catrus Ignis, Wixen Noct, Blaze Howl Noct, and Sootseer. They're ordered by PAL deck number, if you were curious. Put your votes in now to which one's the best. I've already given you the answer, so it doesn't really matter. Basically, here's the stats for them. And the base stat totals, that's what BST stands for. None of the abilities really matter, so we're not going to look into them, because they won't use their abilities when they're base pals. So, basically, the worst of the bunch is Incineram. Our boy, our favorite, a little bit hot trash. Sorry, Incineram. Definitely the worst one. We still love them, but unless Hellfire Claw, the signature, is found to be useful, it is not optimal to build an Incineram for this. Now, our other homie, Sootseer, is the best Fire Dark, second only to Bushy Noct in attack and tied for the best in HP and defense. So, overall, with 320 base stat total, 20 more than the next highest Blaze Howl Noct, definitely our best stat-wise to go with. Now, it's also very convenient because Sootseer naturally learns a move called Flame Funnel, which works a little bit like a Fire Holy Burst. Not quite as good, but it's a similar quality to it. So, ideally, we're going to set up some Sootseers with Legend, Ferocious, Serenity, Musclehead, something similar to that. I would have liked Eternal Flame, but I don't have a Blazemit Ryu, and I don't think I'm going to successfully kill a Blazemit Ryu with the PAL setup I have right now. And the moves that we want on it are Ignis Blast, Poison Blast, and Flame Funnel. So, the reason that Fire Dark is desirable here is that they have Stab, same type attack bonus, on Poison Blast and Ignis Blast. Those are very low cooldown moves that are very spammable. And most importantly, they can poison and burn. They have damage over times. Damage over times are very good on raid bosses because the damage over time scales to the maximum health of the boss. So that's why burning legendaries is so effective. That's why campfire strat works. Resistance to dark damage. Libero's primary damage type is dark. You don't want to be weak to that. Fire Dark resists dark, so you'll be bulkier than most other types. They also resist ice damage. I'm not certain Libero actually deals ice damage. It might just be that one big attack at the transition. I don't know if she actually fires anything off that deals ice. But if she do, Fire Dark resistant. Also, fire is super effective on ice, which is Libero's phase 2. Fire Dark also has stab on Flame Funnel, the previously mentioned kind of like Holy Burst effect, in the fact that it's very good against large targets. Now, there are a few other pals that we consider for this for having notable advantages that are not strictly Fire Dark. Firstly, Astagon. Astagon resists Dark twice, because Dragon resists Dark, and Dark resists Dark. And, oh, you're interrupting me in the middle of my reading my notes. What can I do for you? Oh, okay. Get out of here! I'm in the middle of nothing. Don't you giggle at me. Now it's gonna look like I censored you because you haven't said anything. Unbelievable. Can't get good help these days. Anyway, Astagon resists Dark twice, gets stab on the Poison Blast, and it gets stab on Dragon, which is actually super effective on Dark, so that's a bunch of really good stuff. It is weak to Ice, but again, I'm not sure if Libero actually deals Ice, other than the like big transition bursty thing. So we're probably going to do a couple Astagon with Poison Blast, Dragon Cannon, and then Dragon Meteor or Beam Slicer, depending on how easy we can get Beam Slicer. Yormantide Ignis also resists Dark, gets stab on Dragon and Fire. Is also going to be needed for Blasmate Ryu, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. Generally considered one of the best pals. And we'll go with Ignis Blast, Flame Funnel, and then either Dragon Meteor or Beam Slicer, depending on how many Beam Slicers we can get. Frostallion Noct is the, I believe, highest base stat total in the game at 415. It resists Dark, it gets stab on Dark. I think the moveset we want for that is Poison Blast, Circle Vine, and Flame Funnel, but Seed Vine might be better than Circle Vine. I'm not actually certain if Circle Vine is that good, I just remember thinking it was, so we might replace that with Seed Vine. Belenoir is actually very useful for it. Resist Dark, Stab on Dark for Poison Blast, and most importantly, Belenoir has a very small hitbox compared to a lot of other pals. We go with, I think, Poison Blast, Flame Funnel, and Nightmare Ray. And we go with those to trigger as many damage over times as possible, and then Nightmare Ray is just pretty good against big targets, even though Belenoir resists Dark. Now, Belenoir Libero, actually better than Belenoir, thanks to signature move in Flame Waltz, which can burn, even though it's a dark move, and Nightmare Bloom, which is actually a direct upgrade to Nightmare Ray. It lasts longer, the angle on it's a bit wider, so it catches faster moving targets better, and it has 20 more base power to it. it's 160 versus 140. For a Libero, I would probably go with Poison Blast, Flame Waltz, and then Nightmare Bloom. And those will also be useful for Ryu. Now, there's a couple concessions that I have to make in these notes here, because there's a few factors that are just kind of glaring at the whole plan here that I should probably address. Firstly, dark damage is resisted by Libero's Phase 1, so speccing into dark attacks is not great, but the damage over time is what we're really looking for. So, many of these pals have pretty big hitboxes. Of the ones I mentioned here, Sitsir is probably one of the smaller ones, alongside Bellamore. So, those are kind of easy to hit. Things like Astagon and Yormantide and Frostallion are all very wide, very, very big pals. Damage over time actually activating is random chance. We're attempting to brute force constant damage over time just by sheer volume of hitting them with Ignis Blast and Poison Blast. And lastly, you can't really build optimal Bellanoir without already having done a bunch of Bellanoir, which slightly invalidates the entire point of making them. But a good Bellanoir Libero is also good against Ryu, so it's worth building in the long run. And that's the research I did in a car ride today on the way to get some dinner with some friends of mine. It was a grand old time. They had one of the worst bathrooms I've ever experienced. Shout outs to anybody who works in food service and has to clean a public bathroom. I do not envy you. And yeah, that's the whole plan there. That's, you know what, that's probably the focus of this video here, is that entire little breakdown I just did. I'll put up some pretty little pictures to go with it, I think. Hopefully I've done that before I'm editing this episode, but if not, I guess I better go get to making that pretty little infographic right now. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out what kind of Sootsier we're building here, because I think Astagon is probably our best starting point for it. I had up the combinations here. Yes. Astagon and Loop Moon, Astagon and Yakumo, and Astagon and Lovander will all make Sootsier. I don't know what I just saw over there. Somebody's there is basically what that means to me. On the off chance that they haven't already checked it, I am going to check middle. I think that screen shake is the explosions over there. That's a Depresso. Yeah, and it's out because somebody was already over here. Okay, so they've definitely probably checked middle already then. And I didn't bring any other pals with to like get free experience or anything like that. Yeah, they cleaned out stuff up here already too. So they just sprinted through here. We're gonna check anyway, just because if we're right, we will. Why laser? Somebody's flying. That's why. Okay, as expected, not over there. I did not get here fast enough to see who it was. I mean, if I had to guess, Mash or Reiju, because I recognize seeing those names before, so they've at least been here for an amount of time. Yeah, okay, so it was down here, and they popped it open. What time is it? 12:30 in the morning. 1 o'clock is when this would become available again. I don't know if I'm going to be here that long, but good to know. We cleaned out the smaller chests too. So it was somebody competent. The hand position on those handles is not lined up. That makes me angry. So for anybody else following in my footsteps, one, bold choice. Very, very bold choice of you. Secondly, you can find Ignis Blast and Poison Blast fruit in basically anywhere but the desert, volcano, snow, or Sakurajima. This is the wrong way, isn't it? It is. So anywhere on like the main set of... Am I stupid? There's a beam slicer, so we have at least one. We're going to check the graveyard area to see if there are any Soothseer in it. Because that's where they spawn naturally. I also learned, while I was doing that research, I learned that you can catch boss Incineram in desert dungeons. Now, I've never actually run a desert dungeon, so I had no idea. Ring of Mercy on for the Soothseer.
Yeah.
Okay, just don't waste the ultimates, okay, Soothseer? I could have been killing Lovanders, and I chose to come pick you up. That's not looking so good for you. You might get condensed.
Yeah. Yep.
It's probably not a great use of my time.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's 12:53, and I think we'll hang around long enough to check rig before I go. Alright, so we want, just because there is a threat to us getting the box, it's somebody else here. Why did I hear rockets? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just not a surface I can grapple onto, I guess. If you see there the levels, Libero learns Apocalypse earlier than regular Velador does. Oh, there's a lot of you up here. That was graceful enough, I suppose. Gatling 2 is not really what we want, but now I looked at the math on getting schematics from here, and one, I learned that you can get Assault Rifle 4 from here, which is cool. Actually, I want more XP. There's about a 1 in 100 chance of getting the legendary schematic for one of the... Thank you, Train. For one of the regular weapons. And by regular, I mean what you can get from the bosses. And it's 1 in 200 for the newer weapons. You can thank Pal Professor for that knowledge. I bet whatever the next expansion we see from Palworld will have a fruit for Holy Burst. And I also bet Holy Burst will not be nearly as good. Should make sure I pick up the Lee's Punk crest that may have fallen from that. It's used in the elixirs. I also need to see if I have enough of these power lotuses to make anything with them. Where did Rocket Guy go? There he is. I want to make sure that guy's gone. Did I pick up a Lee's Punk crest? I did. It might not drop it. Are you not dead? You must be a different guy. Impressive climbing with my feet there, huh? Yeah, please. I hope you.
Oh, no, can you?
You're just in here getting episodes early, aren't you?
Well, I live here, so yeah.
Unbelievable. Can't believe you do that to chat.
They didn't eat my ravioli from the other night.
Dang.
Wait, they haven't seen that episode yet. I take that back.
No, they haven't seen that episode yet. How do you forget to play? Forget how to play Palworld, rather. There is a tutorial. It puts it on your screen. You have to manually turn it off. That's a lot of people coming down here. Oh, that free XP. Boy, I sure hope I don't get absolutely destroyed by a stray bullet. I should play Kirby 64. That's a Nintendo 64 game I'd really like to play again. We'll kill the dudes inside. No reason not to. So I learned a technique in crossout. And so a lot of games, the accuracy is way better if you just click a single time. You get nigh perfect accuracy, 0 spread. Who did that? You did that. Oh, hi guys. Alright, well, that's just about the flow cleared. And with that, it's past bedtime. Why are you still up? It's past bedtime. I suppose it doesn't technically have to be past bedtime for you, given that you're watching this video at an undisclosed time in the future. But you know. Now, what is past bedtime is that I just witnessed a Steam pop up for one of my buddies over in a very uncultured. I can't really remember the other countries across the pond so good. See, Irish or Scottish, he would be so insulted. Either way, his time zone makes it so that it's like 6, 7 in the morning for him. No, way more. It's like 10 o'clock for me is like 6 in the morning for them. Or something. The point is, man's up past his bedtime, even worse than I am. You know who you are. If you ever see this, you'll know immediately who you are. It mostly because of that Scottish versus Irish thing, and understandably, I realize why that would irk you. think it's Irish. I think he's Irish. Because I've definitely heard him say Ireland, and I've definitely never heard him say Scotland in recent memory. So I feel like he's Irish. And he doesn't sound exactly like the demo man from Team Fortress 2, which is canonically how all Scotsmen sound. Similarly to how every German in existence sounds like the medic. That's a bit, by the way. Do not associate an entire people with a stereotype. Or a character from media. That's arguably worse. That's actually the lesson today. Do not associate people with stereotypes and or characters from media. That's rude and also sometimes stupid. Why must you put your ass on my head? Stupid thick dragon. Okay, I'm gonna take care of these eggs now. Bye. Hang on. Bye. Shit. Bye. Shit. Bye.